He told me I was too controlling. So I let go of him, the relationship, and the shared credit card. He found out when his favorite sneakers got declined. I smiled. He cried. I, 34 female, live in Austin, Texas, and I was with my now ex-boyfriend Mark, 36 male, for almost 7 years. We met at a backyard barbecue in Travis Heights in the spring of 2015. He was that guy, the one everyone naturally gravitated toward. Loud laugh, quick wit, talked like he had life all figured out. And me? I'm a registered nurse, I work long hours, I mind my business, and I'm not flashy. So when he showed interest in me, it caught me off guard. But I liked it. He was confident, funny, and full of charm. He pursued me hard. And when someone makes you feel like you're the only one in the room, you believe them. Or at least, I did. We moved in together in 2017. Got a dog, Max. We shared bills, furniture, holidays, groceries. We started using a joint credit card mostly for convenience. Utilities, groceries, gas, pet stuff. Then it slowly turned into flights, electronics, business dinners that didn't include me. I thought that's just how couples grow. You merge lives, you share more. Right? By 2019, I started noticing little things. You know how you just feel it before you know it? He used to call me on breaks. That stopped. He started taking his phone everywhere, even to the bathroom. And when I asked who was texting him at midnight, it was work stuff. There was this one night, we were supposed to go to this small outdoor concert at Zilker Park. I came home from my shift early, already tired, but excited to see him. He looked annoyed. Said he forgot. Said he had to jump on a quick Zoom. It was 7 p.m. He doesn't even work in a job that uses Zoom that much. I didn't even argue. I just said, okay, and went to the concert by myself. Fast forward to early 2023. The gut feeling was now just anxiety living in my chest full time. We were barely speaking. He was cold. No more affection. And any time I brought it up, he'd flip it back on me. You're being too controlling. You always think the worst. You're so insecure lately. I started doubting myself. Maybe I was too controlling. Maybe I was just burned out from work. Maybe I was smothering him. Maybe the distance was my fault. Then came the trip to Denver. He said it was for a team strategy retreat. I asked why I wasn't invited to tag along for the weekend, just for fun. He said it was a guy's thing. Too much work. You'd be bored, he said. But I saw a receipt in his jeans pocket the day he came back. A hotel dinner receipt for 2. Candlelight package. $126 with tip. And the waitress had written, "You two are so cute," with a heart next to it. I didn't ask. Not yet. 2 weeks later, he was in the shower, and his phone lit up. A message from someone named Lena. I can't stop thinking about that night. I clicked. And I read. And my hand shook so hard I dropped the phone. It was all there. Texts, pictures, videos. She called him baby. She thanked him for the Denver trip. They joked about how uptight nurses were always too tired for real fun. I was uptight nurse. My stomach dropped. But the worst part wasn't the cheating. It was the casual way he talked about me to her. Like I was a joke. Like I didn't matter. When he came out of the bathroom, towel around his waist, I asked straight out, "Who's Lena?" He froze. Looked me dead in the eye and said, "Why are you going through my phone?" Not, "It's not what you think." Not, "Let me explain." Just immediate defense. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I said, "So you're really doing this?" And he sighed, like I was exhausting him. "It was just a thing," he said. "It didn't mean anything. It's not like I don't love you, but you've been too much lately." Always asking, always checking. It pushed me away. Too much? I was too much? He left for the night. Said he needed space. I stayed on the couch with Max, shaking, thinking about the last 7 years. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I packed up all his stuff and left it in the garage. Changed the locks. I emailed the landlord to remove him from the lease. And then I remembered the credit card. We had one shared credit card. We agreed it was for household stuff. But for the past 6 months, he'd used it for random Amazon packages, gaming gear, sneakers, takeout I never ate. I went online and removed him from the card. I closed it and had a new one reissued in my name only. I didn't tell him. I just handled it. A week later, he tried to buy something. I got the notification. $228.97 declined, Foot Locker, Austin, Texas. I laughed. That man loved his sneakers more than anything. I knew exactly which pair he was trying to get, some rare drop he'd been hyped about for months. He called me that night. I let it go to voicemail. He texted, "WTF is going on with the card?" I replied, "It's mine now. We're not a we anymore. Handle your own shoes." He didn't respond. 2 hours later, another text, "You're seriously gonna do me like this?" Yes. Yes, I was. That was just the start. And believe me, there's more. So much more I haven't even told you yet. Let's just say, you don't really know someone until they realize they've lost control over you. After I shut him down about the card, things were quiet for a few days. Too quiet. I figured he'd retreat, lick his wounds, maybe cry into his off-brand cologne-scented pillow at whatever Airbnb he'd landed in. But no. 3 days later, I got a call from a mutual friend, Josh. He said, "Hey, just a heads up. Mark's been talking. A lot." I asked, "Talking about what?" Josh sighed. "He's telling people you froze the card out of spite. That you're crazy. That you broke his computer. That you threatened to call his job." None of that was true. Not a word. But the fact that he'd gone around spreading it? It lit something up in me. The kind of rage you don't even know you have until someone who used to hold you at night starts throwing dirt on your name in daylight. So I called him. Straight up. No games. I said, "If you want to lie, lie louder. But don't forget, I have receipts. Actual receipts. Screenshots. Voice messages. The credit card charges. You want to take it there?" He mumbled something about me embarrassing myself. Said I was so emotional, like I wasn't supposed to be mad. And then he slipped up. He said, "It was just Lena. You think you're the only one who got tired?" I said, "What do you mean just Lena?" He paused too long. "Mark, how many?" I asked. Voice flat. "A few," he finally said. "A few. 7 years together. Sharing a life." And this man said a few like he was talking about picking out cereal. I hung up. I blocked him. But here's where it twisted harder. The next week, I'm leaving the hospital after a 12-hour shift. I check my phone and see I have 3 missed calls from someone named Bree. I don't know a Bree. But the area code was local. Then she texts, "Hey. I think we need to talk. I'm sorry to come to you like this. But I think we've both been lied to." Now my hands are shaking again. I text back, "Who are you?" She replies, "I'm Mark's girlfriend." Girlfriend. I literally sat on the floor of the hospital parking garage. Like I couldn't physically process it upright. Turns out, Lena wasn't the only one. Bree had been dating Mark for 6 months. She had no clue about me. They had gone on road trips. She met his mom. She found out about me because he left his iPad unlocked at her place. She saw a picture of me and Max as his wallpaper. She Googled me. Found my nursing profile. Reached out. We talked on the phone for hours. She cried. I didn't. I was past tears. She told me about another girl named Tina. He had mentioned her once, slipped her name by accident. So she looked her up, too. We were in a group chat by the end of the night. Me. Bree. Tina. We called ourselves the X Club. And let me tell you, every single story lined up. Same lies. Same patterns. Same lines. You're different. She's crazy. I just need time to figure things out. He had a rotation. The real kicker? Remember that credit card he was so mad about? Turns out he'd been giving that number to more than just me. Bree sent me screenshots. She said, I thought it was his card. But this one time, I bought a hoodie for him online, and it got flagged. It had your name on the alert email. My name. He gave my card to another woman so she could buy him clothes. I wish I could tell you that was the breaking point, but honestly, the breaking point had already passed. This was just the slow burn of realizing how far someone will go when they think you'll never leave. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I planned. This wasn't just about a relationship anymore. It was about humiliation. Betrayal. And the calm, calculated rage that builds when someone tries to make you out to be the problem while they've been living a double, maybe triple life. I wasn't going to go petty. I was going to go smart. And that's where part 3 is going to begin. After the X Club group chat started, things escalated fast. Tina worked in cybersecurity, go figure. She was sharp. She said, you realize he's got a pattern, right? He finds women who are stable, responsible, usually with good credit or solid jobs, and he uses them. I said, you think he's doing this on purpose? She said, no. I know he is. I ran his name through a couple of databases I use for work. You know what popped up? Turns out, Mark had been sued before. Twice. One in Dallas, another in San Antonio. Both small claims, both from former girlfriends. Both cases said something about unauthorized use of funds. It was all civil, nothing criminal, but the pattern was crystal clear. He wasn't just a cheater. He was a grifter in sneakers. That's when it got worse. Bree, sweet, quiet Bree, texts us one morning, guys. I think I'm pregnant. The group chat goes silent. Then she follows up, I haven't told him yet. I don't know what to do. I felt sick for her. She was barely 30. She had just gotten promoted at her job. She was still wrapping her head around being lied to by a man she thought might propose. Now she might be carrying his child. I asked gently, do you want to keep it? She replied, I don't know. But if I do, I'm not letting him near it. Ever. Here's where I did something I never thought I'd do, I reached out to Mark's mom. We'd only met twice, but she was kind to me. She used to text me recipes, call me her maybe future daughter-in-law. So I called her. She answered, surprised. Oh, wow, it's been a while. I said, I think you need to know what your son's been up to. And I laid it all out. The cheating. The financial abuse. The other women. The possible baby. She went dead quiet. Then whispered, oh my God. He said you went crazy and drained his bank account. I laughed. He doesn't even have a bank account with money in it. That card? That was mine. All of it. I cut him off because he was using me to buy clothes and dinners for other women. She started crying. Said she was sorry. Said this wasn't the first time she's gotten a call like this. Said even she had to take a loan out to cover his debt 2 years ago. Then she said, he's never going to change. He's been like this since high school. High school. This wasn't a rough patch. This wasn't a phase. This was a personality. And then, like fate had a cruel sense of humor, I got a call from my credit card company. "Ma'am, we're calling to verify some unusual activity on your account." Apparently, the new card, the one reissued in my name, had a few flagged attempts: Uber rides in Dallas, a hotel reservation in Houston, a $450 designer belt purchase. I said, "Cancel it all. Shut it down. Issue a fraud report." Because guess what? He'd memorized the numbers. While we were still together. While we were living in peace, or what I thought was peace, he'd probably taken a picture of the front and back of my card. Maybe even written the info down. I changed the number again. Froze my credit. Set up alerts for everything. And that's when I decided I was done being on defense. I gathered the screenshots. The text messages. The receipts. Bree and Tina added theirs too. We built a shared Google Drive folder. We named it Mark Files. I sent a single email to Mark's employer. Subject line: important info about one of your employees, Mark, redacted, no message body. Just a link to the folder. He worked in tech sales. His job depended on his reputation. He used his work email to book that Denver hotel with Lena. There was proof. 2 days later, Tina messaged, he just deleted his LinkedIn. 3 days after that, Bree said he'd called her crying. "You ruined me," he told her. But none of us had to lift a finger. All we did was tell the truth. And here's the part that might shock you most: I still haven't heard a word from him. Not a sorry. Not a "you misunderstood." Nothing. Because when a man like that gets caught, he doesn't try to clean it up. He moves on. Finds another woman to bleed dry. Another heart to twist. But this time, we made sure he'd have to start a few steps further back. Next up? There's a fourth woman. We just found her. She reached out last night. She was with him before me. In 2014. She had no idea he was still doing this. She said, "I should have warned someone back then. I didn't think he'd still be like this." Well. Now we are warning someone. Because we're not quiet anymore. We found the fourth woman. Her name was Marissa. She messaged Bree out of nowhere after seeing her comment on a mutual friend's Instagram post. She wrote, "Hey, sorry if this is random, but I saw the name Mark, redacted, mentioned, and I have a feeling we might be talking about the same guy." They talked. Then Bree added her to the group chat. Turns out, Marissa dated Mark back in 2014. She was engaged to him. They had a wedding date set. Deposits paid. Invitations printed. And then? He disappeared for 2 weeks. She found out later he was in Vegas with his boys. He spent half their wedding savings gambling and came back like nothing happened. She left him. Called off everything. He told people she cheated. Told his mom she went crazy and drained his account. Sound familiar? We weren't even surprised at this point. Just numb. But then Marissa said something that made us all stop cold. "I think he's back with Lena." Lena. The first girl I caught him with. The one who kicked this whole thing off. Apparently, she posted a boomerang on her Instagram story, him laughing, holding a drink, same watch, same voice. No face, just his arm, but we knew. We knew. After everything, she took him back. So I did something bold. Maybe stupid. But I was done being quiet. I messaged Lena. Straight up. No drama. Just, "Hey. I know you don't owe me anything. But you should know he was cheating on you while he was cheating on me. And 2 other women. He might have gotten someone pregnant. We have proof. Receipts. If you want to see them, I'll send you everything." She saw it. Left me on read. A day later, she blocked me. All right then. But that's not the end. The end came at a birthday party. Mutual friend. Outdoor bar in Austin. I didn't know he'd be there. Neither did Bree, she was with me. He walked in with Lena. Arm around her waist. Like he hadn't burned 4 women to the ground a few months earlier. I felt my stomach twist. I wasn't angry at first, just stunned. He made eye contact. Smirked. Like this was a game. I turned to Bree. You okay? She nodded, jaw tight. Let's leave. But he called out. Hey, look who it is. The fan club. Everyone turned. Bree said, don't. But I was already walking toward him. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just said, loud enough for the music to drop a bit, does Lena know you gave my credit card to Bree to buy you shoes while you were sleeping with Tina in Denver? Silence. He went pale. Lena stepped back from him. I pulled out my phone. Want me to show her the screenshots? Or do you want to explain the baby scare too? He lunged for my phone. Too late. People were already pulling him back. Someone gasped. Lena just stood there, eyes darting between us. Then she slapped him. Full on. In front of everyone. And walked out. He didn't follow her. He didn't speak. He just stood there, breathing heavy, looking like a man who finally saw all his mirrors crack. That night, he texted me, you didn't have to do that. You embarrassed me in front of everyone. I replied, you embarrassed yourself the moment you decided to play all of us like we were disposable. I just gave you the audience you deserved. Then I blocked his number. For good this time. Bree cried later that night. Not because she wanted him back, but because of what he took from her. The trust. The time. The peace. We all grieved differently. Tina got back into therapy. Marissa said she finally stopped blaming herself for what happened years ago. Bree's test turned out negative, thank God, but she said it shook her so deeply she's now rethinking everything about who she gives access to her life. Me? I started over. New apartment. I kept Max, of course. I got my credit sorted. Froze everything. Took every possible step to make sure I never get entangled with someone like that again. I think sometimes we mistake chaos for passion. Confusion for mystery. Distance for depth. Mark made me feel like I was hard to love, when really, he just never had the capacity to love anyone but himself. Do I regret the relationship? No. I regret not walking away the first time my gut screamed something wasn't right. I regret making myself smaller to seem less controlling. I regret second-guessing my own instincts to make a broken man look whole. But now? I trust myself more. I speak louder. I take up space. And most of all, I protect my peace like my life depends on it. Because it does. Thanks for sticking through this, Reddit. If you're in a situation like this, trust me. You don't need a sign. You just need to believe what you already feel. And if they say you're too controlling, maybe it's time to let go. Of them. Of the lie. Of the shared credit card.